Shua Tov, everyone. Welcome to Tillis Tells Stories on Saturday night. The title of this video is Defying the Meir. I adapted it from the book Abir Yaakov, the life and times of the saintly grand rabbis of the Abuhatzeira dynasty, volume 2. The author is Hanok Regel. One day early in the Jewish month of Elul, Baba Meir arrived in one of the main cities of Morocco, intending to remain there for a few days to breathe fresh life into the community, for they had invited him for this purpose, to strengthen their spiritual state. Rabbi Meir Abuhatzeira, popularly called Baba Meir, was the oldest son and designated spiritual successor of the Baba Sali. The Lubavitcher Rebbe indicated in private conversation that he and his father were among the pillars of the world. However, he predeceased his illustrious father by less than a year. He passed away on the third day of Passover in 1983. And let me take this moment to dedicate this story to the soul elevation of my father, Yehuda ben Yerachmiel, that he shares the same Yortzeit date as the Baba Meir, that is the 17th of the Jewish month of Nisan, the third day of Pesach. Baba Meir moved from Ashdod to Eretz Yisrael in 1983. Immediately upon arrival, he was offered to be the chief Sephardic Israel of the whole country, the chief Sephardic rabbi of the whole country, but he turned it down, saying that he feared he would be too strict, wouldn't work. Shortly thereafter, he moved to Ashdod. He moved to Ashdod, where he lived a reclusive life for the next 17 years until he went up to his heavenly reward. Today, one of his 5 sons, Rabbi David Abuhatzeira, the chief rabbi of Nahariya in the northwest of Israel, is considered the spiritual leader of the Abuhatzeira clan. The first night of his stay in the city, Rabbi Meir, wishing to recite Selichot, asked his host what time the people gathered in the synagogue. The host responded that the Meir forbade them to recite Selichot because he claimed it disturbed the sleep of the Muslim neighbors. Much to their chagrin, they had not been saying Selichot since the time began on the 2nd of Elul. We don't know exactly how many days they missed, what day this is, but a number of days had gone by already. It was clear that Rabbeinu Meir was not happy with the situation. Yet the people felt they could not defy a decision signed and sealed by the Meir himself. Rabbeinu Meir, however, did not hesitate and asked his assistant to summon all of the communal leaders immediately. He asked them if it was true that their fear of the Meir was preventing them from reciting Selichot. They were embarrassed, but they had to admit that this indeed was the case. Rabbeinu Meir instructed them that nevertheless they should hurry to assemble all the Jews of the city that night in the local synagogue, the large local synagogue, for the recitation of Selichot. The midnight hour was fast approaching, and it took till slightly after 2 o'clock in the morning for hundreds of Jews gathered in the synagogue with their prayer books in hand in a mood of anticipation. Rabbeinu Meir himself was to serve as the prayer leader. Before Selichot, he spoke encouragingly, asking them to pour their hearts out, to pour their hearts out to the Almighty, and urging them to pray with such fervor to make up for all they had missed until that day. He began to pray in a loud voice, in a strong voice, with the congregation following along, and the sounds of loud Jewish prayer emanated from the synagogue. The shocked Muslim neighbors who awaked immediately summoned the police. The police officers, hearing about the Jewish prayer server led by Rabbeinu Meir, made haste to the Meir's hours for orders. With rings of sleep clearly visible under his eyes, the Meir listened intently to the police commissioner's report. Fuming, he ordered the police to halt recitation of the Selichos immediately. One of the officers reported to him that their great rabbi, Baba Meir, son of the Baba Sali, is the one who had organized the group and was even serving as the prayer leader. The furious Meir sneered, "Who is this Baba Meir, and who appointed him to so brazenly disobey the law?" Well, as soon as these words were spoken, the Meir suddenly found himself unable to continue. His body became paralyzed. His face became contorted. He sank helplessly into his armchair, his racing eyes shouting that he was unable to speak. It was obvious to the Muslim police officers that his trouble was caused by his disdain for the honor of the Jewish tzaddik. A messenger was dispatched to the synagogue to appeal to Baba Meir. When the messenger entered the sanctuary, the worshippers held their breath. Utter silence prevailed as he hastily made his way to the raised platform at the center of the synagogue. Rabbeinu Meir, however, motioned silently that he was unable to interrupt even for the emissary of the mayor. To the congregation, he signaled silently that they should continue praying with still more fervor, additional fervor. At the end of the Selichot, Baba Meir turned to the messenger to hear what he had to say. With some trepidation, the man unfolded before him the story of the mayor in his mansion, lying still as a stone. Rabbeinu Meir said to him, "Go tell the mayor that he will return to full strength only if he promises not to persecute the Jewish people and permits them to practice their religious beliefs." When the messenger told this to the mayor, he agreed by blinking his eyes rapidly to indicate that he accepted these conditions. In a matter of minutes, his strength returned as if nothing had happened. The mayor trembled as he waited for Baba Meir at the threshold of Baba Meir's host's house. The door opened and he fell at the Baba's feet, begging his forgiveness. Taking advantage of the moment, Rabbeinu Meir demanded that the mayor sign an explicit commitment not to hamper the Jewish citizens in observing Jewish tradition down to its finest detail. From that day on, the Jewish residents of the city encountered no more trouble in leading a Jewish life. Tonight is when Ashkenazi Jews begin reciting the Selichot, the pre-Rosh Hashanah prayers for forgiveness. However, Jews of Sephardic tradition have already been saying them since the 2nd of Elul. Tonight is the 20th of Elul. As Elul, the entire month that precedes Rosh Hashanah, and is the month of preparation for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, in order that we and you, all of you and all of yours, should have a good, pleasant, inspiring, successful, productive year of 5,786.